Hello, today's lesson is going to be scientific notation. Let's get started. So scientific notation is a way to write very large or very small numbers. So for example, I have this very large number, and this number could represent something, for example, in space. Space is very large, very vast. So I could have a huge number like this. If I had students write this number down, I might have some students that would drop zeros, they would add zeros, and if I drop and add zeros to this number set, I will have a different number, and that is not a good thing. So I have to come up with a way to be able to write this number that's manageable, that will always make it the same number. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at this number. And I want to find the first whole number. So the first whole number is number 1 through 9. So you always start over here on this side of the number. You go through, you find your first whole number. My first whole number is 5. After that first whole number, you put a decimal point. So I put in my decimal point right there. Then what you have to do is you're going to count over how far do you need to go to get to the end of that number. So I'm going to count my steps. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And what I do is I'll write the number of how many times I jumped off to the side so I remember it later on. So now once I know how many times I need to move my decimal point, I'm going to go in and I have to drop all my zeros. So all my zeros are going to go away and I'm going to rewrite this number set right there. So I rewrite my number, so 5.189, and then I have to add times 10, and then this number right here is my exponent. This is how many times I had to move my decimal point, and that number will go up here as an exponent above 10. So my scientific notation for this one is 5.189 times 10 to the 22nd. All right, let's look at this number. I need to, again, I'm going to start over here on this side, find my first whole number, and my first whole number is 4. So my decimal point will go after that 4. I'm going to count over how many times it takes to get to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then I'm going to drop my zeros. I have to rewrite my number set. So 4.2033 times 10, and my exponent is to the 14. What people will say, well, why did I put a 0 here? If I'm dropping all my zeros here at the end, why would I keep that 0 there? And this is the way I explain it. If I said, all right, I'm going to give you guys $909, and I'm like, whoops, you got a 0 in there, I'm going to take that out. And now you have $99. Would that make sense? No, you would expect to have $909, not 99. That 0 makes this value real. So that is the number that's going to have to be in there with that. So if you have a 0 between two whole numbers, then it needs to stay. If it's after the whole numbers, they will be dropped. All right, let's look at this number. I'm going to give you guys time to practice. You can pause the video if you want. So I'm going to find my first whole number. So my first whole number is 8. So my decimal point will go after the 8. I'm going to count over how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my exponent will be 5. I rewrite my number. 8.22 times 10 to the 5th. Here's another practice. So now I've got my number and I want to be able to put it back into a whole number. So we know that this 4 is telling me how many times I am moving my decimal point. So I start here at my decimal point and I'm going to move over 4 and then I have to add my zeros. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll add my zeros in here, and I have to rewrite my number. So it's going to be 2.6. I move my decimal points over, 2, 3, 4. I rewrite it out. I put my comma in there. My answer is 26,000. I look at my next number. I have to move my decimal point over 9. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I add my zeros. I rewrite my number, and my number is 3,305,000. All right, here's a practice for you. So you can do this on your own. You can pause. Now some people will get confused because there's no decimal point here. You don't see one, right? So if there's not a decimal point there, it means that it's hidden. So you can draw one in if you want. My exponent is 11. That's how many times I need to move my decimal point. So I'm going to put in my decimal point here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'm going to add zeros to all of my spots all the way down. And so my answer will be that. All right, so now I have a really small number. When I have zeros that are in the front, this is a very small number. This could be something like pollen, it could be bacteria, but this is a very small number. But we set it up the same way. So I'm going to come here, and I need to find my first whole number that I hit from this side. So I go, and I hit 2. The decimal point comes after that whole number. What people and students want to do is they want to start here and put my decimal point here. Don't do that. You're going to go here, and you're going to go all the way over till you hit your first whole number, and it always goes after that first whole number. So now what I need to do is I need to go in, I need to count. How many times does it take to get from this decimal point to this decimal point? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got to rewrite my number. Remember, we drop all my zeros. So it's going to be 2.88 times 10. But this time, since I'm going small, it's going to be a negative number. So I'm going to be negative 9. So if you ever see a negative exponent, that means my object is very small. If you see a positive exponent, my number is very large. Okay, let's look at this one. My decimal point is going to come after the 3 because the 3 is my first whole number. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I rewrite my number. It's going to be 3 times 10 to the negative 5. Again, because my zeros are in the front. What people want to do is do 3.0 times 10 to the negative 5. But we don't want that 0. That 0, all zeros need to be dropped after the decimal point. So you're going to get rid of that, and it's just going to be 3 times 10 to the negative 5. All right, this one is for you to practice. You can pause it and do it on your own. So my decimal point is coming after my first whole number. My first whole number, when I look from this side, is 2. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I rewrite my number. It's going to be 2.044. Remember, the 0 stays because I'm between two whole numbers. I'm going to do times 10, and since my zeros are in front, it's negative 8. Okay, so now I have my number, my scientific notation. I need to put it back into standard form. Remember, when I have a negative 3, I'm going in, my decimal point moves in that direction. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Decimal point now lives here. You put a 0 in front. So that's going to be my number. So I'm going to go over. It's going to be 0.0042 will be my number. All right, so here I have the same thing. I have 8. I take my number. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0 here. And I put in all my numbers. And then my number will be that I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros between the decimal point and the 7. All right, this one is for you to practice on your own. My decimal point is here. I bring it over 1. My decimal point now lives there. So my answer will be 0.98014. All right, that was just a real quick overview of scientific notation. I hope that helped. If it helped, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. Thank you for watching.